Hi folks, my name's Jeff Rugrock and I'm your guide to all things code related for semester 2 in the winter of 2021. Just a quick video to show you how I've laid out the code for you. I have provided a full copy of what you need anyways, not of the code. Just to give you a walk through the table of contents, it's on Roman numeral page I. I'm going to have a discussion on page 2 about what codes and regulations are, what are standards, what are norms and interpretation, and then I get into the code and the rest of this document. Part 1 has compliance in general, specifically part 1.4, terms and symbols, and that starts on the document page 1. Part 2 is objectives and functional statements. Part 2 is objectives. That starts on page 27, and then part 3 are functional statements. We won't be using the objectives and functional statements a lot. They just have an overview of why the codes are actually there. And they're used if you're ever in conflict with an inspector, you can say, well, what's your point? And that would be in here. Compliance in general is what we use from Division A quite a lot, because that's our dictionary, terms and symbols. Division B is where the rubber starts to hit the road. Part 3, the big things are the health requirements, also known as plumbing facilities. This is where you'll look up how many toilets you need for a restaurant with 50 seats versus how many toilets do you need for a restaurant with 100 seats. So that's what they mean by health requirements, at least from a plumbing perspective. Also in part 3, it's the Ontario version of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that's our barrier-free design. It tells you what kind of toilets and sinks folks in a wheelchair or with other disabilities would need and how to make them more comfortable and accessible, and the fixtures more accessible for them. Just remove the barriers. Part 7 is definitely home base. This is where your plumbing is. You'll be spending most of the course in here. 7.1 is general, 7.2 is materials. Piping, drains, vents, water, and non-potable systems. That's where you'll be spending most of your time. Non-potable systems, that's water, rainwater harvesting and wastewater harvesting. This code, watch this one, in your lifetime this is going to change quite a bit. At least that's the way it seems like it's going. So it's maybe a page or two now, but I'll bet you within 15 years it's 15 pages. Part 8 is just a bonus section I put in there for sewage systems. And it's got all the different kinds of sewage systems. This is more if you live out in the country where you have smaller systems. That's it. That's your introduction to this code course, or the code book as I've designed it. I did take it directly from the government website in October of 2020, so it's less than a year old. And you do have to change it out every few years because they're constantly making small changes to it. But anyways, it's up to date. Hope you enjoy the course. Here we go.